Should I transfer from my final salary scheme or my defined benefit scheme? It's a question that is becoming more commonly asked. Some of the final salary schemes are looking to get their members to leave the scheme. They're encouraging members to leave the scheme by offering large multiples, which can be a life-changing event for some people, but it really depends on your personal circumstances, because giving up a defined benefit in retirement means that you're losing any guarantee of future income. So by transferring your fund to a private scheme, you are gaining flexibility. You're gaining a whole host of other add-on benefits, but you will lose a guarantee. What is a defined benefit pension scheme? It's an employer's pension scheme with a selected retirement date. The scheme retirement date varies from scheme to scheme. It can be 60, it could be 65. The defined benefit pension scheme is exactly what it says. It gives you a defined benefit that's guaranteed for the rest of your life upon retirement. Even though you may have left the employer years ago, the scheme that the employer still runs, or the trustees run on behalf of the employer, still has a great value. Well, you start really by asking the scheme or the scheme trustees to provide you with a CETV, that's a cash equivalent transfer value. It'll give you an idea of what the benefits the pension will pay out to you as an income, as a tax-free lump sum, but it'll also give you a figure that is a guaranteed amount that would be transferred to a pension scheme of your choice. That figure is the determining factor in whether you decide to do that or not. What could go wrong? Well, investment choice is a major consideration. You need to make sure that your investment choices are conservative in the sense that you're unlikely to suffer any major losses. The pension fund has got to last you for the rest of your life, and that could be 20, 30 years. The income is down to you. It's flexible. You can take what you want when you want, so you need to consider, how long will my fund last? What you can do is look at the size of the CETV, or the cash equivalent transfer value that the fund is offering. Look at a cash flow model and say, how much will I need in retirement? How much do I need per year? What are my expenses? And you can do a rough calculation to say that I'm going to need X number of pounds for X number of years. How long will my fund last? You may have income from other sources. You may have buy-to-let properties. You might be a director of your own business, in which case your pension fund from a former employer is something that you could invest and pass on to generations. But it's always going to be outside your estate for inheritance tax purposes. So that could be a real good benefit. In retirement, you may have regular expenses that you want to maintain, in which case staying in the final salary scheme and having a defined benefit pension payable to you on a monthly basis is something that is important to you. So there are a lot of things to consider. When you've decided that a pension transfer is something you'd like to look at in more detail, it's important that you seek independent financial advice. If the fund is over £30,000, then you really have no choice. The trustees insist that independent financial advice is sought at that time. When you pick an independent financial advisor, if you haven't already got one, is make sure it's somebody that you can trust, somebody that you can see on a regular basis, and somebody that's going to look after you as a client. The fund needs to be managed. You need to manage it, your independent financial advisor needs to manage it, and you need to manage it together. So when you've chosen your independent financial advisor, and for instance if you chose to come to Fairtrade IFA, all those circumstances will be taken into consideration, and we'd have that advice checked by an independent source to make sure that both you and I are basically singing off the same hymn sheet, and that it is the right thing for you to do. Should you become a client of Fairtrade IFA, then you can rest assured that your pension fund will be monitored on a regular basis. You will see the information yourself. You'll have your own online account. You've got valuations, you've got all the transactions, you've got all the documentation. You can see what I can see. And also we'll have regular meetings to make sure that your pension fund is on track and will deliver what you want it to deliver. I hope this short video has been of use to you. It'll give you an overview, gives you an idea of what you need to look for, and thank you for your time.